It was an ordinary evening, until it wasn't. One moment, life was moving forward in its usual rhythm. The next, it came to a violent halt on a dark road, under the glare of headlights and the sound of metal meeting flesh. A finalist from Strictly Come Dancing, one of the BBC's most cherished Saturday night institutions, has revealed that he was rushed to hospital after being run over by a car in what doctors later described as an accident that could easily have been fatal. The man was John Waite, 36 years old, widely admired for his athleticism, humor, and openness, whose rise to national fame began not on the dance floor, but years earlier in a very different competition. On Wednesday, January 7, John took to Instagram stories to recount the ordeal in stark, unfiltered detail. There was no dramatic build-up, no attempt to soften the shock. "Last night, I got run over. Seriously. A split second between life and loss. The accident unfolded with terrifying speed." John described being struck by a car that came speeding through the darkness. The impact lifted him onto the bonnet, smashed the windscreen, and sent his body crashing onto the road. "I rolled up the bonnet, damaging it and the windscreen," he wrote, before splatting onto the road and crawling to the pavement. What followed was not just physical pain. In those moments, when adrenaline fades and fear sharpens, everything becomes uncertain. But vulnerability. Then came a small act of humanity. Some angel of a human threw his coat around me and waited with me for an ambulance. It is a detail that lingers, not the violence of the collision, a stranger, a coat, a moment of shared stillness on cold pavement while waiting for help to arrive, but the quiet compassion that followed. At the hospital, John was scanned, examined, and tested. One remark stayed with him. Doctors were direct. "Thank God you're 16 stone of muscle," the doctor told him, because it could have been fatal. It was a blunt assessment. Without his physical conditioning, his core strength, muscle mass, and fitness, the outcome might have been very different. John, never one to abandon humor even in crisis, framed the experience with characteristic candor. "Moral of the story," he wrote, "build strong muscle and core strength, and don't wear black while crossing the road in the dark when an idiot comes speeding without looking." He reassured his followers soon after, "I've been scanned and poked and prodded, and I'm okay." And then, in a final line that felt almost defiant in its lightness, "Still gay though." From bake-off tent to ballroom lights, for many viewers, John Waite is inseparable from Strictly Come Dancing. But his public journey began long before sequins, spray tans, and Saturday night voting results. In 2012, he won the Great British Bake Off, becoming a household name almost overnight. His warmth, relatability, and dry humor resonated deeply with audiences, and his profile rose steadily in the years that followed. By 2021, he joined the lineup of Strictly Come Dancing, appearing alongside figures such as Dragon's Den star Sarah Davies and BBC newsreader Dan Walker. But it was his partnership that made television history. John was paired with South African professional dancer Johannes Radebe, then 38, in the show's first-ever male same-sex pairing. The partnership was not framed as a gimmick, nor treated as an exception. Instead, it unfolded naturally, joyfully, and with technical brilliance. Week after week, the pair topped the leaderboard. Their performances combined athletic precision with emotional storytelling, earning both critical acclaim and public affection. They danced their way to the final. Ultimately, they finished as runners-up, losing out to EastEnders actress Rose Ayling-Ellis and professional dancer Giovanni Pernis. But for many viewers, the result felt secondary to what they had already achieved. They had shifted something, quietly, decisively, about representation, masculinity, and visibility on mainstream British television. Momentum, and an abrupt stop after Strictly, John's career surged, media opportunities expanded. Television appearances followed. His public voice, funny, direct, unapologetic, continued to resonate. But in 2023, the momentum stalled abruptly. John announced that he would not be appearing on television again after Steph's Packed Lunch was axed by Channel 4. The decision, he said at the time, came without warning. The rug was pulled out from underneath us, he explained, describing a team blindsided by sudden news. For John, it meant not just the loss of a job, but a rupture in stability. He did not. The industry moved on quickly. Facing uncertainty, he made a decision that would divide opinion and reshape his public image. He joined OnlyFans. John spoke openly about the move, framing it not as scandal, but as pragmatism, a way to maintain income and control in an unpredictable media landscape. Yet the consequences were swift. Several brands reportedly ended collaborations, including Waitrose, which withdrew from a partnership without notice. The message was implicit. Visibility can be conditional, acceptance fragile. He did not frame himself as a victim. Still, John remained candid. Nor did he retreat into silence. Stepping away, and looking inward in September 2025, John announced that he had officially left the adult subscription platform. His explanation was reflective rather than defensive. He said the decision came from a renewed awareness of a talent he had neglected, one that extended beyond survival and self-marketing. It was not a rejection of his past choices, but a recalibration. In hindsight, the near-fatal accident casts this trajectory in sharper relief. Public favor shifts. Platforms change. Careers rise. But in a moment, on a dark road, under a speeding car, none of that matters. A stranger's coat. Bone. What matters is breath. An ambulance arriving in time. After the impact, John's accident did not end his story. It interrupted it, and perhaps, in doing so, clarified something essential. He survived not because of luck alone, but because of the body he had built. The strength he carried, and the people, known and unknown, who showed up when it counted. In sharing the incident publicly, he did not dramatize it. He did not frame it as destiny or tragedy narrowly avoided. He told it plainly, with humor intact, humanity visible. In an industry that thrives on spectacle, his honesty landed quietly, but powerfully. Because sometimes, the most compelling stories are not about triumph on a stage or screen, but about standing up again after being knocked down, literally, and choosing to keep going.